Bring us up, please.
You're up, Commissioner.
Okay. First item on our agenda is Board of Maintenance.
Do you want to do
Oh, no,
Chantel?
My agenda. This is a Thursday agenda.
Oh, well.
Okay, excuse me, it isn't. Our first item on our agenda is indigent business.
Thank you. Chantel Aulu with Indigent Services. The case that I have before you today is case number 2024-0010. It's an application submitted for cremation expenses through Wilkes Funeral Home in the amount of $1,200. The application is submitted by the funeral home as well as the mother of the deceased. The deceased as well as the applicant are Bannock County residents. They are not veterans. They do meet criteria to be eligible for assistance through the indigent program, and the applicant has agreed to a $25 a month repayment plan upon approval of this application.
So looking at that, the applicant was bringing in some money,
Yes.
and there's no way to recoup any of that? How does that work?
So with that money, that was the previous month's money and how much they were making. So that is based on how much they had reported in the website, the IRS's website. Upon talking to Chief Deputy Coroner, which was JR, I was able to talk to him on Friday. The deceased was not working at the time of his passing. So that information right there was previously to his passing, and so at the time of his passing, he did not have any income.
Okay. I just, like I said,
Yeah.
see, he was bringing in $1,000 a month.
Yeah, and so that was according to the state's website, but at the time of his passing, he was not working at that time.
Okay.
And so the most up-to-date information in the state's website was that he was working. However, at the time of his passing, and I don't know the time frame in between the time that he did pass and how often they update that website, which is about a year, I do believe, he was not working, so.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, on case 2024-0010, I move that we approve as recommended.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right. Emma is sick today, so
Can Kyle talk to that? We're going to have Kyle do that one?
okay.
Emma's sick.
Yep.
Alrighty. Kyle Burmester, Bannock County Public Works. First off, sponsorship for the Portneuf Valley Environmental Fair is of $1,000 that Bannock County sponsors. We do run 3 booths there. We have a
How many?
landfill one, a mosquito one, and a weed.
Did you say 3 booths?
We do the one sponsorship, but we do have 3 booths there.
Sorry, could you repeat them again? Sorry.
We have landfill, which that booth does like recycling, hazardous waste, kind of talks about the landfill. We have mosquito. We usually have our drone there and a few things talking about what we do with the mosquito fund. And then we have our weed department that talks about noxious weeds. There's usually a real big turnout. It works out pretty good to get the word out to a lot of people, and it's a non-profit, so any of the sponsorships help out with making this happen.
And there's actually about 5,000 people that attend this, huh?
Yeah, it's full.
Okay. Comments, questions?
No, I think it's a good one. Where's the budget coming out of?
Landfills.
Landfills? Okay.
Is there a reason we're not splitting it since all 3 are going?
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. We probably could, based
Seem
on,
more fair.
yeah.
Chrissy said that I was shared with her that 300 was coming from waste, 300 weed, 300 mosquito, and 100 emergency services.
Les is
Perfect.
gonna be there too.
Apparently. I just got that text, so.
Okay.
I asked her about that this morning, so.
Perfect.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I would move that we approve the sponsorship with the breakout of the funds to be as discussed.
We have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
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 Thanks, Barry.
You bet.
All right, your next is talking about,
Next, talking about some modifications to the grant that we do for snow grooming. The first one is a modification of, it's pretty much between the county and the Forest Service for us being on Forest Service jurisdiction with the groomer. Just what we will do, what they will do. When it's winter time, we'll do some of the trimming and stuff what's needed, or if a tree falls in the summer, they're supposed to help with some of that trimming to get them. But it's pretty much just that we'll make sure there's signage. They'll have the correct signage that they want used on Forest Service. And there is a financial attached to it, but there's no financial change of monies in this modification. They put that on there for their benefit, that they like to track what monies that they might be putting into it. But the county has no financial
obligation.
with that, yes.
And I only had one question on this one, on the front page where it talks about purpose and modification. And that box has an accident, change in performance period, extend period of performance to May 31st, 2024. But then when you come back here on the page that's talking about the county shall and the number 1, and it says the grooming season is December 15th through December 15th, or April 15th. Is that a conflict, or is that what?
They must have forgot to change it on the second part. I think they changed to May because of last year and how long the snow went. But they didn't get it in the ops.
That's
But yeah,
just, okay.
we could,
Any other
I don't know if you
questions
want
on
to
this
mark that, change that.
I just had a real quick question on the Forest Service shall, number 4, work with the county to accomplish the groomed route brush work during the summer or fall. Have you guys done that with them in the past?
No, not that I know
one?
of.
Snowmobile Club had.
The
They had
snow,
some.
yeah, the snowmobile club's been doing it, and then they'll even do it a little bit in the winter too. I
So-
don't know of the Forest Service besides their regular maintenance throughout the summer. I can get with them and see for next fall, because we've seen a little bit of brush kind of coming in on us.
Yeah, that was just my question is, what, do you have a process in place that you can say, here's the areas that we're gonna need to work on next year?
Yeah, and we're tracking them right now.
Okay. And then the other thing was number 3, provide county with summer road signs for temporary winter installation. What's that about?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think that should be, that they provide us with winter road signs for winter, because the summer, they should be taking care of all that.
Yeah.
Change a couple of those verbiage and send it back.
That's what I would suggest. Get some clarification on a couple of those things.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't mind. We could verbally just change the date to May 15th on that section 1, but on those other 2 things, if you've never done them or don't know about them, then let's not have them in there so we can
Yeah.
be held accountable.
No, I
for it.
can.
Well, there's a lot of things the county's responsible for.
No, I can get them corrected.
Okay.
Go ahead and get them corrected, and then you can bring them back.
Okay. And And the second one is the modification to the grant, and this is for the parking lots. It has the $5,000. There was a couple questions that I got clarification on because on the first page, number 3A, it says will not exceed 20,000, but that's the 5,000 plus the modification plus the modification. So it's only the 5,000 for this year. And then on the bottom, with the financial plan, it says 10,000. If you caught that, that's 5,000 for us and 5,100 that the Forest Service is putting in their match. All of it was changed from last year on this one was some of the contacts.
Yeah, those are the same questions we had last year.
So, Mr. Chair, I would move that we approve the modification of the plowing grant as discussed.
Have a motion, all in favor say aye.
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 Perfect. I'll get the other stuff corrected and get it back to you.
Okay,
Kyle.
Thanks.
Ryan.
Okay, thank you. Ryan, whoops, spin the microphone. Ryan Belknap, HR Director. So this is a request to destroy 20 boxes of employee files that have been, they're beyond their retention date. I know you guys do your homework. Do you have any questions on this?
I have one question.
Sure.
Have you talked to the legal department about this and make sure there's nothing outstanding that they might be aware of where you need to hold on to some of those files?
Yeah, we updated our policy on the record retentions before we started this project, and legal was involved as we got the policy approved. That was over a year ago, but yeah. Do you have any questions, Ryan, about?
No, they're just employee files that have been past the time that we discussed.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve the records retention destruction as presented.
Have a motion, all in favor say aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you. Tori.
Morning.
Good morning.
Tori Danner, Bannock County Coroner.
Charity Staggs, Southeast Idaho Council of Governments.
Okay. This morning, the item on the agenda is for permission to apply for a grant. This grant will assist with funding with just some other items and things that we need as we move forward in my office. Like a morgue facility, observation table, truck, different things. Just different things to better prepare us, to make us self-sufficient as we move forward. This is kind of the items that we've talked about previously and putting in as far as the ARPA project if we were to enclose. But as we are trying to figure out the facilitation of where that is going to be located, this grant would help us potentially purchase the items that will go in wherever it ends up. Does that make sense?
Okay. No in kind?
Do you have the updated?
I don't. That's
Okay, 'cause
this
in
paper.
the packet, it's,
This paper, that's what I said, I wasn't gonna sign it today because this paper is totally blank.
oh,
Right.
and you can't read the top of this. Did you change that this is not a recurring grant?
Yep.
Oh, because it
And
does
so
say,
we-
it does say yes.
The
in the
formatting got
packet.
a little wonky.
Yeah,
I did
that's-
put in this description to clarify that it's not a reoccurring.
Yeah, the other one.
Okay.
That was before we requested some changes. We requested that there be a breakout of the costs for each item so that it came up to the $70,000. There's no match. It is not a recurring grant. It is federal, so we'll have to get the CFDA number.
And it's just kind of an update. This is kind of the direction we're going as far as as we've spoke previous, the morgue facilities, trying to be able to get us to a point where we have our own. Currently, we're utilizing our mobile morgue trailer so that we can facilitate anything that we have as far as investigation needs of chain of custody. Currently, we have 2 investigations that we are housing right now. That, one of them being criminal, it's a homicide investigation, the other being suspicious circumstances. Those are 2 of the few cases that we have going on right now. So this is, as I said before, this is kind of an ongoing need. This is something that we need to get to. So this is me trying to do my part as far as facilitating the items until we can figure out where ultimately we're going to land on facility.
These aren't filled out either. This is from the grant team,
Yeah.
so it hasn't gone
It
through the
has.
proper channels? It has? Okay.
It came to us late, and I'm sorry, we forgot to forward it to Christie to have it included in the packet. I can email you. I don't know what, Mandy, did she send the final signed copy? Okay. We did meet as a grant team on it and verified, like I said, the dollar amounts. So the truck's going to be $50,000. The tonneau cover will be about $2,000. The walk-in cooler will be $15,700. The observation table will be $32,447. And then we clarified who was going to be paying for charity, because she's doing the grant and it'll go through Wes, through the Homeland Security, that $25,000 that contract. And then I don't have the signed copy, I'm sorry.
Okay. And that's, like I say,
Right, but then we had some other comments. Am I missing any other comments? Just what the original packet was. Do you have the auditing's, the grant team's response
Response?
on this?
I can probably
No.
pull it up.
No. okay.
No, that's what I said.
On your
Every-
copy, I didn't know if you had printed that one.
everything I have here is blank on one page that wants my signature, and that's, I don't sign a blank page. It just-
I just brought copies just in case.
And that's exactly what was in my packet.
Trying to bring this document up, I'm trying to see if there was, I think, basically we were okay with the application.
Commissioner, just for point 2, this grant actually isn't open yet. They are just pre-planning for the opening of the grant. So
Just the permission phase, just to make sure that we can move forward on this.
I have the responses.
Yes, anticipating for when it opens. That's a really busy season. February and March is going to be a really busy grant season, so we're trying to anticipate these grants opening and get these permissions asked for just in time.
So all you're asking us for is permission to apply for this
When it
grant?
opens up, yeah.
Correct.
And I have no problem doing that, but I won't sign this right now, the way,
Understood.
I mean,
Yeah.
like I said.
Well, and when we do
They're all
actually
blank.
submit, we'll reapply, or not reapply necessarily, but make sure that you guys have all the information with what we're submitting. This is merely just making sure that we have the permissions to move forward on this.
And we have our grant responses, if you want to put them on for Thursday.
And that's fine,
We can
whenever. I mean,
provide that,
like I
or-
said, you got a little bit of time, but generally, this would have been a Thursday item.
Right. Due to the fact that I am going to be gone, I wanted to make sure that I was here to answer any questions and discuss if there was anything to discuss in regards to this.
Okay. Comments, questions?
I think we should let them apply for the grant.
Yeah, that's fine.
Go ahead and make that in a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move we allow, that we let them go ahead and apply for this grant as requested.
We have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
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 Okay,
Any questions you guys have?
yeah, lots.
Okay.
But they'll get answered as soon as all those lines are filled in.
Okay, I got you. All right. Okay,
All right,
thank you, gentlemen.
Shanda.
Morning, Commissioner. Shanda Crystal, Chief Procurement Officer. I have a contract before the board today in regards to The Family Specialist Services RFP that we went out to procurement for, that was awarded to Cognitive Restructuring. The contract has been reviewed and approved by legal. I appreciate their partnership in building, as every time we make a new iteration of these contracts, right, they get a little better, a little stronger for Bannock County, so I appreciate their partnership in that. It has been sent to Cognitive Restructuring, and they have agreed and signed, and it's back for the board for review and potential signature.
Okay, any questions? A motion?
Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve the contract with Cognitive Solutions as presented.
Yeah.
Or Cognitive Restructuring, excuse me.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
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 Thank you.
Heather?
Good morning, Heather Studley, GIS Manager. I am asking to reallocate funds from B budget to A budget to help, no?
Within B budget?
Within B budget? Okay, sorry.
It is within B
Wrong
budget,
page.
all of it?
Yes.
Okay.
What happened is during the budget process, Heather had requested some money in A budget to potentially subsidize an intern. That wasn't carried forward, so there are no funds to subsidize that. We worked with ISU and made arrangements so that we could cover it through accounts payable. What we're asking is $2,000 from education and $2,000 travel and $2,000 from software support to allocate down to contract labor so that she can subsidize pay for the intern. That was on last Thursday's agenda, the intern form was, and I was more worried about ARPA. I didn't remember that, so
Okay.
it's on today's agenda.
And actually, we all signed all the stuff for the intern, actually, in last year, too, right? Or was that all?
No, this was
This is
different. This is a
different.
new intern.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was signed on Thursday last week.
Because there's a date here of October 10th of 2023.
Is that the ISU agreement?
Yeah.
So that might be the ISU agreement, but this.
And it had my
intern-
signature on 10/10/23, so that's, I guess,
But the intern form wasn't signed until last Thursday, so
yeah,
our interns come and go regardless of the contracts.
okay.
So,
Our
yeah, the term
new
would be the
intern form
agreement
with
with
ISU
ISU.
is what you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay. Does this need to be made into a resolution after this?
I emailed that to Nancy pending you saying it's fine to do,
Okay.
and then we'll just do a resolution by signature.
So you're just taking basically $4,000 out of $2,000 out of two accounts and putting it in one account?
And it's all within the B budget,
Yes.
so we're not changing the bottom line at all.
Nope.
Questions? Motion?
Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve the reallocation of funds as discussed.
Got a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Are you Miss Turner?
I am.
Come on up. And I don't think anybody from Jennifer's office was going to be here. Misty was off today, so. All right, please introduce yourselves and tell us what you're asking.
My name is Vidalia Turner, and this is, and I am asking for hardship relief for my property taxes for 2020 and 2021, 2022, due to I got attacked by 3 pit bulls in 2020 here in town, and so it's been a really rough go. I'm currently applying for disability, so I really don't want to lose my house.
Okay, well, we don't want to take your house, but
I understand.
people have to pay taxes.
Right.
I mean, it's just plain and simple. You were attacked by the pit bulls. Was there any insurance and stuff that, with that?
Medicaid, I had Medicaid at the time. My hand is half usable. I got a huge trip on my arm. I got on my leg. It's just been really, really hard.
Who was the owners of the pit bull?
My sister,
And there was no funds through insurance on them? Or you didn't seek funds?
I sought funds, but the only way to do it is to garnish her wages, and I couldn't do that with my sister, so.
So in turn, you're garnishing wages of everybody in Bannock County? I don't mean to
I
be harsh,
understand.
but we had these last week. You didn't attend last week when we wanted to talk about this. I don't know what the circumstance was. But this is very serious to me, because you're asking everybody in Bannock County to pay your taxes for you.
Or just give some time, maybe not to necessarily forgive it, but just leave some time. She's in her appeals process with the Social Security, and is newly divorced and has a 4-year-old, and spends a lot of time. Pit bull attack was serious. It's a big deal. It's messed her up. So not necessarily just. Forgiveness would be great, but even just some time would be nice. Probably hope.
Okay. Commission?
Yeah, we have 4 feet of snow and our plows broke, so just apologies for our tardiness.
I'm trying to pull up the file real quick, so give me a second.
There's recommendations. Have you visited with the treasurer's office? Have you talked to them individually, personally?
No.
And that's always very, very important.
They told me that this was the only way to do it.
Well, this started though back in 2020, right? And so here we are 4 years later. That's when the conversation could have started. That's when you were attacked and stuff. And I know you had a lot of things going on, but it's also the procedure. You're at the point now where your house goes up for auction, basically. And
What's the total on owed on it? I haven't been.
20,
A little over 2,400.
the total is 2,400 to bring you current to date for for 2020, 2021, and 22 and 23 would be 1,031.
so where are you at in your procedures for disability?
Well, they were going to give me presumption pay, but one of the papers, they hadn't got it yet, and I had to get paperwork for my child support from them. And so they just denied me the first time, so I'm in my appeals process. I'm just asking for reconsideration right now. So I have a really high chance of getting it though, so I'll get back pay from 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to tax deed because of 2020, right?
Correct.
I'm sorry, what did he say?
And we'll go to tax deed
For the
because of
2020?
2020.
Are you able to pay the 2020 amount today? It looks like that's $580.84.
I can ask my grandma to pay it. Just didn't want to.
If they paid that, that would take them out of the tax deed right now, right?
Actually, 2020 is 425.44. 2021 is the 596.
All right, I must be looking at something else because I'm seeing 580.84 on my thing. Oh, so the tax is 417.10 and then there's late charges and interest. That brought us to the 580. If you're on the Turner,
Right there, 579.86, okay.
Further thoughts? Did you see the recommendation from the treasurer's office?
is it in this
I'll let you.
package?
It's the very front page.
All right, let's look at this.
No, you don't have it. Okay, I'll let you read that here. Since they're not here, there's our.
Yeah. I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Jeff?
What are you thinking, John?
I don't have a problem with the recommendation.
Where are you
I have mixed feelings. One, because they haven't come in and talked with the treasurer. And the treasurer's been very generous, in my opinion, right here, when they've got a recommendation. Do you have something different?
I'm kind of willing to look at waiving the 2020 so that they stay out of tax deed. That'll give you time to go through your appeals process and figure out what your income's gonna be, and then come back and work with the treasurer. That's a short-term fix, but still gives them a little bit of an opportunity to try to find a way forward.
So if we waive 2020, that means that you won't go into tax deed, but your 2021's right there coming up.
Correct. But that should give you time to find out where you're at with your appeal, because those guys always deny the first one on your
Right.
application, so that's just par for the course. They want to make sure you're serious.
Yeah.
And you know where the treasurer's office is, right?
I think so. I think it's.
It's right down at the end of the hall.
Yeah.
So you need to go talk to them and make sure you're having that conversation.
I spoke with my mom, and she just told me basically that I was screwed. Always, so I didn't ever talk to them.
Well, I'll just tell you that we never want to take somebody's house. But the county doesn't function without people doing their part.
Absolutely.
Sorry that there was complications in your life. I mean, it's not that we're hard-hearted, but we represent the other 98,000 people
Right.
every
As you
time that
should.
somebody comes before us, and we take it very, very serious. So,
So, Mr. Chair, I would move that we cancel the 2020 taxes and interest and late charges. If I'm reading this correctly, that would be in the amount of $579.86 or $425.44, whichever the treasurer deems is the appropriate amount. And then hold them liable for the rest of the taxes at this point in time.
and to go along with that, just as John said, and Jeff, you need to go down and set up a payment system with the treasurers. On what they suggested here, it was $50 a month, beginning this month. And if you miss 2 of those, then we go back and it's null and void. So we need you to go down to that office and set up a payment procedure so that.
So then, Mr. Chair, I would accept that as a friendly amendment to my motion, that you set that up, and if you miss 2 payments, then the rest of this is null and void.
I'm also already on Social Security. I've been on it for a carbon monoxide accident a couple years ago, right after my wife passed away. I had like 4 kids, and they forced me to get on Social Security when they got their death benefits. So, their brother I have 2 of the children that were on the death benefits, and the 3rd child is their half brother, and they screwed up his Social Security. I filled it all out up in Oregon, and then his grandparents didn't initiate it, so they backdated it like 2.5 years, where Zachariah didn't get paid, and I had to go and pay like all the way back, and it just kind of messed our finances up a little bit with me. I'm saying I'm not.
So you live in the house also?
I live 4 miles down the road, my parents' house, just underneath the Smedleys, and I just spend a lot of time over there, so there isn't really anybody else to help. It's pretty, so there's 4 feet of snow, I mean,
All right, thank you. We have a motion. Are you good with that, Nancy? We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, so like I said, we'd encourage you to go down here at the end of the hall, set up a payment policy and procedures, and don't miss more than 2 in a row.
Thank you.
All right?
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Should we get back to you and like know how to Social Security and stuff?
Work with the treasurer's
No,
office.
Just go talk to the treasurer.
Thank you.
so much. Appreciate it.
Have a good week.
You too.
Grateful.
All right. On resolution 2024-5, approving tax cancellation request, and resolution number 2024-6, micro purchase threshold for federal funds. questions on them?
Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve Resolution 2024-5 and 6 as presented.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Two. Next, we have under signature only, December 2023 Commissioners Proceedings, tax cancellation request, meeting facility use request form for use of the Chubbuck Building, and findings, facts, and conclusions of law.
Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve the Commissioner Proceedings as included in the packet.
All of them, or just?
Oh, sorry, yeah. And the tax cancellation requests, the meeting facility use request form, and the finding, facts, and conclusion of law, which is here.
Okay.
Sorry, John, that was a bad shot.
Any comments about this one? You two worked on it pretty hard.
It was fun to work with Brian on that.
All right, looks like next we have, under our consent agenda, we have certificate of residency, and this has been denied. We have Bannock County minutes for December 28th, January 4th, 9th, 11th, all under the consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve the consent agenda as posted.
Have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And with that being said, Savvy has
Elected officials meeting.
elected officials, but that's not a board meeting, so we are adjourned.